Hey, so you're first going to see this. You're going to punch in your credentials. I have mine, which are tied to my Google. So it's going to log me in, and this is the first thing you'll see. It is the main page is sort of designed to prompt you to do what you need to do. You also have these sidebars that you can access here, and they're all useful features. The first thing I'm going to do is going to open up the script viewer, which you can activate also using Shift F, and then you're going to add the draft. I have a draft that I have as a 3 page demo that we're going to use. And then it uploads, and then you have access to that here. So our first location, you're going to see it's interior. We're going to make that a grocery store. So we're going to hit new location, grocery store, and we're going to say day. And this is actually already filmed. This is a 1/8 page scene. So I'm going to just punch this up to be filmed. What you have at the bottom is a page calculator and a shot calculator. This has some old cache in it, meaning your project will not have this because it's got some of my old stuff stored. This is a sort of a 2 page document. So this first one has already been filmed, so that's why I have it here. It was one shot. We're going to call this a medium, tracking. Jeremy goes back. Jeremy moves a grocery cart train. This was done on a 70mm. It was about eye level below. Done with a car dolly. Setup time was, I want to say 20 minutes. We probably shot it for 20 minutes. Total time was 40 minutes. Car dolly in parking lot. Clear safety protocol. Live parking lot. Discuss with team. Anyway, so you'll see that we had a grocery store. You can also add an address. I forget the address. Something like 75 Mill Road, Woodstock, New York. And we also had a contact named Erica. I'm just going to make up a phone number. 9298 9297. And you'll see all this stuff ends up getting stored in these sidebars for reuse later. If you want to add different options here, for example, right now, you have these as your option. You could say 3-shot as an option, and then you can make a color pill, and then it'll appear in here. And that's how most of these things work. And at some point I'm going to be building, I'm going to open up that script viewer, sort of an auto importer that will detect all these things. One nice feature is this will jump you to where you are in the script. We'll notice that this had the character of Jeremy. So Jeremy, we're going to add a cast member. Jeremy, mine is played by a person named Charlie Robinson. Gonna skip, doing anything here. But we're going to just give him a blackout date of November 15th, just so that we can sort of see the conflict system. Jeremy pushes a grocery cart train. And we're going to add him. This is a modal. You can resize it. It'll remember the resize. Add selected. Jeremy now is here. I'm going to see if I have a reference image that I can pull. Let's try stuff. I'll just put that here, make it bigger. Eventually I'm going to make the default size the biggest one. I'm going to just tag this because this was the first shot of the day. Alright, so the first scene is set up. You can add a scene after or hit D. Scene 2. I'm going to assign it a color. And I'm going to call this setup. I'm going to give this setup a color. This is going to be 2 shots. Here, darken it. So scene 2 is, oh, that first scene, by the way, was exterior. All you have to do is hit this to toggle it. Interior, grocery store. I like to be very specific, and in order for this feature where it jumps to the scene to match, it has to be exactly what you're seeing on the text. So this says interior grocery store aisle. So this has to be grocery store aisle. And this is like one location made up of many locations. I have to make this say afternoon. And then it's going to be the same address, same contact. But you'll see now, for example, if we're in a different part of the script, I hit this and it goes right there. Summary of this scene is Rick catches Alex torturing. What is it? Torturing Megan with a spiel. So we'll see 3 new characters we need to add in here: Rick, Megan, and Alex. So we'll say Alex is kind of a key character. Rick, Megan, and then we will give just some blackout dates just so that we can test our blackout system. Alex is going to have blackout days from the 14th to the 20th. We're making that up. But we're just showing this so that we can show a system later that helps us with the conflict detection. And we're going to add these 3 characters. So this is 2 shots. They're both sort of medium 2-shot tracking, medium tracking. They'll probably be done on some sort of Dana Dolly, Duty Dolly type system. I would say this is probably going to take 20 minutes to set up. I usually like to say the first shot just inherits the setup time of the setup. So this is going to be Dana Dolly, clear out aisles, and make sure foot traffic can come through. And this is probably going to take, honestly, no more than 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes per shot. And I'd say setting up the reverse is only going to take about 10 minutes. So this is about a 50-minute scene. So this is going to be POV. Rick sees, and it's going to be clean. Rick watching Alex and Megan. Gonna add in an image of that. Gonna add in 2 images and sort of tag them, to capture the head turn. I'm gonna tag this with shot 2. This is the first part of shot 2. This is going to be the second shot of part 2. You can stack them. And then when you open, you can thumb through. And focal length is about 100. And then reverse. Clean. Rick smiling at Megan. We're going to add an image. It's going to be this one. This is our reverse. I'm going to tag this shot 2 apple, assign. All right. Now we can now test a couple of things. Test our search bar. I'll pull up only the scenes with Rick. This, only scenes that have Jeremy. And let's see, this is probably 2 or 3/8 of a page. I have the data in but you'll see if I were to make this 1/8, if you look down here, it dynamically calculates how many scenes we have. and how many pages rather. I'm going to refresh, which should force this. Didn't force that to update. So this is a minor glitch. Doesn't really affect anything. I'm going to add another scene, hitting D. This is going to be scene 3. Interior. Back rooms. Afternoon. Same info. This is about probably 1 2/8 of a page. And we'll see down here. And you see where it says pages remaining. If I were to set this off, it tells you this is how much you filmed. If all these are on, you have 0 pages left to film. Anyway, set this to yellow. Scene description. This is Sam or Rick gives Megan. I think Rick gives Benji a hard time. So in here we have Avram, Benji, Rick, and Megan. So we have 2 new characters to account for, Avram and Benji. And we can set these colors to whatever we want. These sort of all propagate. Like if I change, for example, on this, Jeremy's got a blue outline. We change that here to say red or pink. Jeremy has a pink outline now. This has these 4 characters in it. And you'll see that if we're here in the script, go here. You can set this to dark mode if you prefer that. And again, you just add the reference images in. You kind of get that. You can stack these so that they're less there. You can also, tag this as a lighting reference if you have lighting that you really like. Like let's say I really like this for a lighting reference. I would just tag this as a lighting reference. I like how it is. Let's say green ambience or something. So these always get, anything that's lighting always gets after anything that's actually referring to shots. I want to also just show you the there's so many things to show, but there's a screening room page. Jordan, I'm the user. You can make this, grab a link. You just have the ability to input links. I'm just going to input the first link I see, but this was for scene 13 and when we were filming, but we'll just pretend it's for scene 1. So this could be add version pre-pro scene 1, add the link in, embedded right here. Then you can watch the blocking for the scene right in here. In a future version, I'll also add the ability to put little video links here so that they're all in one place. Anyway, now we have to do scheduling. We have the following conflicts. Alex, right? We don't need to schedule scene 1 since it's already filmed. So to create your first day, you're going to go add your strip board. This is the first iteration of the strip board. You'll see that this says master shot list. It's really the master of all the scene data. We're going to call this day 1. You have to call it day something. So day X, day 1, day 10, day 20. I'm creating a system now. It's not built. That has to do with auto renumbering. So you would select blocks, but we'll get into that later in a later version of the software. Right now you can switch between the tabs here, or you can put a check mark and it'll give you the option to go here. But you have to assign a date here. Let's do it on one of our blackout days with Alex. So we'll make it our first day on November 12th, just so that you can see the conflict system working in real time. I like to have 2 views up at once. So I hit Apple Shift D to sort of activate this mode, or this lightning button. So this is our first day that we're building out. And we don't want to include the film scenes because we don't want to schedule an already filmed scene unless we're reshooting it. I like to just have the conflict log up, and I like to have it undocked. So I sometimes like to just see what are the conflicts I'm creating. So for example, Alex has a blackout day on November 12th. So if I schedule scene 2 has Alex in it. If I type him in, I can search and see. If I check this, it'll create a filter, right? So if I had another day, let's say I had day 3, I'm going to Apple Shift D, or I'm going to call this day 2. I'm going to have to look at what Alex's conflicts. He's unavailable till the 20th. So let's say day 2, this is a fake, schedule. I'm going to assign that to November 21st. And I'm going to hit the check mark just so that I have it to quickly appear on top. So if I'm on this day and I have this conflict up, right, I can jump to the day that has the conflict. If I'm on another day, if I'm on the master shot list, it'll jump me there. So conflicts, right? There are multiple conflicts. So unscheduled scenes are conflicts. We haven't scheduled scene 3. As soon as I unschedule this, it's going to create a conflict because it is, you want your whole thing scheduled. So once everything is clear, right? For example, I'm going to pull off scene 2 from here. It's going to clear his unavailability, but then add the fact that he is no longer scheduled. We have a scene that needs to be scheduled now. We have 2 scenes that need to be scheduled. We know scene 3, let's see if we have any blackout days. Only Jeremy, who we've already filmed with him, scene 3 could be scheduled to November 12th. And if we go to the conflicts log and then check on our scenes, we've now scheduled a scene, which means we have 1 unscheduled scene left. And now we can go to our other day and schedule scene 2. So this is on the 21st, which is after Alex's unavailability. I'm going to go back to dual mode, and I'm going to just watch the unscheduled scene. This should clear as soon as I schedule scene 2 to this day. So this is Alex. And now all scenes are scheduled. You get that nice little message in the conflicts log. So we resolved all our conflicts. I'm going to dock it. Now we're clear of conflicts. And obviously we only have 3 scenes, but you can add, a call time. When you add the call time on one of these days, you can't do this on the master day because this isn't the schedule. You add a banner, call time, creates a time spine, wrap. It's going to judge based on how long your shots are going to take. So as I add shots, and I say it's going to take an hour, 2 hours to get 1 shot, you'll see this update. And you can add a lunch. And you might, for example, let's say there's multiple shots. Each of these shots is going to take an hour or something. I'm just making it up. You can split up a scene, and then it'll create before lunch, after lunch. So now you have a day. Technically you'd have more populated on this day, but this is a 3-scene script. To save your progress, this will sort of save to the storage of the site. Oh, we forgot to label the project. So CineWaltz test demo. I would do the following. I would do this whenever you're working every 15-20 minutes. I would just set a timer. Just download this. This will give you a JSON so that you can import your data. and update it. And then I would also, if you want, this package that you get when you do save will export your full stripboard for you to use. It gives you all the info, all the timing stuff. It gives you a CSV of all the data you have. It saves the script that you input into here. One other thing you could do is you could, if you just want, for example, you don't want the full package and you just want like one day exported, you would export just the custom day. And that's sort of a basic tutorial. This is the system that I have, and it's going to be improving over time, and happy to answer any questions you have. All right, one last thing. Let's say you have a project already going. You can import a JSON for the project. A JSON is sort of just a data file, and each of these packages has a JSON. Now you're going to see 20 days populate here, and a lot more scenes, and the calculator. This is where it was getting a lot of its calculations from. Basically, right click, add lunch, slide things around, it'll automatically jump the times. And then if I want to get that other project back, till I have a project manager, this is how I would do it. Now I have all the data from before. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. We'll talk soon.